I'm doing good. How you doing? Yeah. Wednesday's Halloween, isn't it? Thursday's Halloween, isn't it? You just edit that so it looks like I know what I'm talking about. No, now everyone knows. Yeah, start over. If you saw that, forget it. Forget it. Oh shoot. I had the audio on my YouTube and it was coming through. So yeah, I know. It's so stupid. Oh, thank God. No. I mean, it was just me repeating that same stupid thing I just said that Halloween was on Wednesday when it's clearly on Thursday. Oh, so much work. Oh no. I don't know. Like, so does where you live, do they do trick or treating on Halloween at night? I know in Milwaukee it used to be that. Yeah, yeah. Dirty. So the problem is, like, I don't know if you remember Milwaukee, trick or treating was always the Sunday before Halloween during the day. And so now I'm like in Detroit, I don't know when trick or treating is. So I'd have to talk to my neighbors. I mean, you clearly, my neighbors are nice. Um, But yeah, usually on Halloween, I sit on the front porch and give out candy and like leave the door open and the cat sits at the door like looking at people and he's the star of the show. He's a black cat on his birthday on Halloween. His birthday is I know, right? But if it's not, I don't know, like I don't like we my lack of caring about dressing up for Halloween is duly noted, is legendary. I'm always wearing my I'm always wearing my costume, which is disinterested bitch. Just like, yeah, whatever. It isn't terrible. Like, yeah, it's the eggs breaking. Yeah, it's test run, testing the waters. Yeah. You to do it all. Laura Croft, the Tomb Raider, Laura Croft. The Tomb Raider. Okay. Yeah, do it. Yeah, I need a polygonal tits. Um, to get going. But yeah, I'm still in my getting settled here in Detroit phase, so I'll probably just hang out around the house, see if kids go trick or treating and give out candy. And if they're not, I'll just eat a bunch of candy and I can do that. Yeah, I'm an adult now. No one can stop me from eating candy whenever I want. Yeah, man. I just had a twinge of jealousy there. Jeez. I kind of wish I could be there. Is that what happened at your pool party this past summer? Yeah, last you went to a pool party. Wait, it did or it didn't? You said it did and it okay, okay. Okay, whatever. I'm still jealous of them. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I had someone come up to me in the grocery store yesterday and they were like, I love your dress. Oh, and your tattoos. And now I think, do you know me? Yeah, I don't do social cues. I'm just living my life. I think she was hitting on me because then I saw her later on in the store and she was looking at me and I was just like, hey, how's it going? I don't worry. We're working on it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, it's not just my business, so I'm not gonna talk all about it. Well, I mean, let's get settled. Let's get settled in Detroit before we do that. Let's just let's just get settled in. Adam would make a great would just be great in a leisure suit. I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like some some aviator sunglasses. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He could. He could. 70s movie drug dealer. Fuck yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pork medallions and gravy. Ugh. What's our what's our what's our question of the day? Yeah, we ask this mostly because there's so much garbage comedy out there and garbage people doing comedy, and it seems like every time you start liking someone, turns out that they're garbage. But a lot of times. Oh, you know what really disappoints me? I just saw an ad, Killer Mike, from Run the Jewels and he's a solo rapper. Yeah, maybe the people out there don't. Uh, oh, Billy Sanders, yeah, is coming to Detroit. No, Killer Mike is coming to Detroit with Dave Chappelle. With Dave Chappelle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The human rights guy is human rights for some. So, yeah, right. I mean, Dave Chappelle himself is human rights for some. So if you'd have told me, yeah, 10 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, Dave Chappelle is all about people's rights, and then now we're here. So whatever. No, not those people. Yeah. Ugh. I think I think our live attendance is doing this thing now where it's like some weeks it's here and then like last week it was like everyone was here and everyone was talking and now we're back here and I'm not sure how much our question of the week is gonna get, but I feel like I feel like if and we won't talk about it because it's in the past, but you should definitely join the conversation. I feel like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like you came and spent a month with me uh this past year, and that's not the part that we had to clarify. We all know that that's true. I feel like I opened your eyes to some things comedically that you weren't aware of that were out there. Yeah. Your pretty face is going to hell. It's basically like following all the demons in hell, but they basically work in hell is basically an office building where they all work and their jobs are, torturing people and stuff, and then they have like little jobs and they follow them. They have trainings. I always love the training episodes. And they do a training on how to how to how to get more souls, how to tempt people on the shoulder, how to torture souls. Yeah. The one with the ironic twists. They are always so good. So good. Detroiters. Sam Richardson and Sam Richardson's been doing. I mean, they're both kind of blowing up, but Sam Richardson's been all over for a while. And they're both from Detroit, and they basically run an ad company. It's one of those things where it's just like a boring premise, but they it's two guys own an ad company, and they just blow it out so far that, yeah, it's great. It's Sam Richardson, and they're Tim Robinson. You might remember Tim Robinson from he was on SNL. And I actually met him the summer before or the winter before he started on Saturday Night Live because I was on a festival that he was at and we like performed my improv team performed right before his improv team. So we got to meet him and he's cool. And then his sketch show, which Sam is also in, which is part of the reason I want to bring this up too, is like Famous Place for Comedy. Like I love I love anything Tim Robinson's doing. His sketch show, also on Netflix, I think you should leave, is great. Has an amazing trans performer in it, and just like good stuff. And it's just one of those things like people are like, you can't be funny without being edgy or without being mean, and it's just like you can be funny without with all those things. Yeah, they're just a mean person. Yeah, it's like yeah, 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 yeah. Let's talk about Taskmaster. I do, as do I. It panel show plus. Panel show plus. Well, here's what I would assume. Like most of those panel shows probably shoot the night of, whereas Taskmaster probably takes several months or takes a whole year to do. Because basically what they do is they film it live, but then they also show video clips. So over the course of the year, all the contestants have had to do challenges over the course of the year that are then edited and they play against themselves. So yeah. It's so good. Plus, he's got to be there all year with the contestants because the host never shows up to any of the video stuff. He just shows up for the night of the shoot and is there. And the portrait ever. Oh yeah, yeah. He plays like a huge egomaniac. Uh, that's great. It's on the YouTubes. Uh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I do have questions. I have questions. I have questions. I don't have questions. No, let's just go. I do hate the count in. I mean, if it helps you, if it helps me, then then and you should entree the show as well. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yeah. That's my new Instagram bio. Elusive, intriguing, and a little mysterious. Yeah. Yeah. Not really fair. Yeah. So cool. Uh I do not care if people think I'm cool. That's the mistake that the religious people we were talking about earlier who are just like, I'm progressive. Am I cool? It's like, no, if you want to be cool, you're not cool. I don't care. No. You said it's kind of cool, and I'm like, I don't care if it's cool or not. And then earlier you'd been talking about you had been, babe, you're the second coolest person on this show. And the coolest person, of course, is if you will turn up the house lights, the audience. Oh yeah. You. I want you to look in the mirror and you know what you'll see? A hero staring back. They say that a hero will save us. I do have a question. I have a couple questions. But we'll just do the one and yeah. We'll do one yeah, let's not do both at a time. And then make people parse out. It'd probably be a bitch for you to edit that. Then you have to edit it together, be like, oh, which part of this is going to? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, sure. What if and it syncs up. It syncs up perfectly. I I've always had this idea I want to do. I've never found anyone crazy enough as I am apparently to want to do this. I want to do a show where it's two people doing their own one person improvised show at the same time. Um, but no one wants to do that. So it- I mean, I'm the queen of the big giant mess and the best thing ever. So it sounds like yeah, just see how it works. Did not. I got bad news for you, Floyd. Did not. Hey, Floyd, that shit sucked. That was not a good idea, Floyd. Yeah. So, well, this question is from someone who thinks maybe they aren't ready to be a hero. And I think it's a discussion we should have and, be supportive of people who are not where they want to be just yet. I hope my intro syncs up with the question here. And like I didn't yeah, it would suck if I said all that and then it was just like, oh shoot, I should have read this with a little more insight and I would have seen this isn't thing. But no, here's the question. Not really a question either. I should say sometimes it's comments. Sometimes it's a comment. We're gonna talk about a comment. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna do a comment here. This person, uh, I don't feel brave enough for this. 24, male, female, pre everything. Basically, what the title says, I don't feel brave enough to transition. I know a lot of trans people, and they're also so brave and sure of themselves, and I'm just not. Hell, I still don't know if I'm even trans. Sometimes I feel it, but other times I don't, or I even feel somewhat comfortable in my masculine appearance. I don't know. If I have the ability to make the leap of faith it requires to transition. I don't know if I can tell my parents. I don't know if I can live in the world today as a trans person. I'd rather just stay in the closet and dream like I have for the past decade. So everything is so scary, and I don't know if I can do it. I would say everyone who's transitioning right now felt the same thing. Um, Yeah. I would also say that this is another thing where it's like find someone, find like a trans-friendly therapist just to talk to. Because you're right. It sounds like you're going through a lot of stuff here. You don't know. It's like you should really talk this out. And it's I saw I hate the internet so much. I saw someone the other day who was just like, we should stop telling people to talk to a therapist. I talked to a therapist and it didn't help me. And it's like, cool, but also, you know, cool story. But also, and this ties back to the other thing I said, if you are in a community, you are trans, you have a good therapist or you have a good anyone who works with trans people, hairstylist, doctor, dentist, Barrett. I talked to a therapist this week for the first time. They're doing a letter for my bottom surgery, and I told them, I'm like, "Oh, this was a great session. I will keep you on my list of if anyone's looking for a therapist in Detroit, I can recommend you and like find a good therapist. It sounds like you might have trans friends, trans people, a lot of trans people. Find out do they are they seeing a therapist? Who was their therapist? And talk to that person and like really work things out because I also feel like it's very rare that someone just like starts HRT one day. Maybe you're out there, but I think a lot of people like they either do work before then, whether it's seeing a therapist or just doing intense interpersonal work. I don't know how that would look, but I mean, there's way to, but I think a lot of people do have that moment where they come to that decision. They don't just fight about and then just jump in. Like I think having someone to talk to, whether it's therapist or your other trans friends. Um, oh, I agree, and I feel like if I think I've told you before, like I started seeing a therapist and didn't start hormones for 2 years because I thought I was too old. If I'd have known then what I know now, I probably would have started. I probably in that first session would have been like, so how can I get these hormones? Like, I'm not saying that's it, but I had also you're 24, so if you started questioning this at 16, you've been doing this for 8 years. I was 46. So I had been having this doubt for over 40. But that's what I'm saying. I've been struggling with this for a much longer time. So having doubts, not being sure, not sure if you're ready. Uh, Even if the world was accepting of trans people, that's still a big thing to go through. Yeah. Yeah. You can even start without HRT, and you could start by going out with your friends, social transition, see how it feels. But also just that's what I did. Like I just showed up to events and was just like this new I'll call it persona. And I did that for like 2 years. And honestly, what really worked for me doing that was, going to therapy. I felt I was too old. I felt I couldn't do this. What I realized was by, developing this, like I said, for lack of a word, persona for going out like that made it click for me that this is right. Like this is where I should be going. This is and my confidence went up regardless of how I was presenting. It was that change, and like you're just at this place where you're facing the unknown and you don't know what's on the other side of the unknown. Yeah, 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 yeah. I also think it's a before you start thing, and I'm not saying that I'm not trying like just me personally I never even considered like passing. Like I just felt like I was just too old to like get any benefit out of it and to change my like it's a radical life change to do it, like I said, 47. Um and I think part of it was, the first time I went out in public, I loved my wig. And I had friends who like helped me buy makeup and did my makeup and I looked fine. I wasn't gorgeous. But it was more about being satisfied with myself, who I was and things like that. And I see a lot of people like before they transition, that's their main concern is like, am I going to 100% pass? Am I going to be gorgeous? Am I going to be this? And I get it. I get it. I get it. We all, yeah. I mean, obviously, if the choice is to be pretty and not be pretty, we want to be pretty. But I also feel like, but I also feel like most people that I see that are struggling with their transition after they start are hung up on how they look. And it really is like we've talked about this before. Like for me, it was like a month or 2 months in, I just started noticing like the mental change and the opening up to my emotions and dropping all the internal things that were like, this is what a boy does. This is how a boy acts, and that, yeah, yeah. Do they know? Um, but I'll be honest, I've done stuff for my looks. Like I'm getting, electrolysis on my facial hair, and I've had like some hair surgery because I had really bad male pattern baldness, and I've done those things, and those are for me. Like I want to look in the mirror and I want to be happy with where I am. Like plus I was living in the deep South, and not the deep South, but like Southern Virginia. It was just like wearing wigs in swampy rich. There's like 3 months where it's comfortable wearing a wig in Virginia, and it's gross the rest of the way. And so but like me on my hair, people like last week someone asked no one ever asked me how I do my hair. It's like I don't do my hair. I comb it occasionally to make sure it doesn't like knot up. Um, and like, but I get it. You put a lot of work in right before this show, though. Oh, you stayed here for a month. You put an awful lot. I'm just giving you a hard time. You put more work in them. I just had mine in a scrunchie right before the show. Anyway, we're having a competition now to see who cares less about how they look, and really what we're talking. Right. Hey, welcome to We Don't Give a Fuck. Yeah, and then you have things and you're like, I can't tell my parents. You don't have to tell your parents. You can go see a therapist without telling your parents. Maybe you tell your parents when you finally decide to move forward with it, but you don't have to tell them now. The world is scary today as a trans person, and I tell everyone, like take care of yourself, but um, you know, I don't worry about people. Like, yes, you live in America. Like, yeah, yes, you could get for now. You could get killed. You could get assaulted. You could get killed by a transphobe. You know what? It's America. You could get killed going to school. You can get killed going to the grocery store. It doesn't have to be a transphobe, uh, that comes after you. And I hate to be blunt about this. I know, like, you should be worried. You should be careful. But it's also the fact that just like no one's gonna stop you from doing your transition. And it's like as long as you're careful and stay safe. Like I don't lose sleep over transphobes. Um, and like I said, everyone's different. Everyone's different. They're cowards. They're cowards for the most part. Now, if things change in November, they're going to be more emboldened. My main concern isn't the everyday transphobes if that happens. My is the weaponization of the police and the government. In that case, yes, we should be worried. But as long as you stay safe and pay attention and like be aware of your surroundings, you know, that kind of stuff doesn't happen, day to day. And I know it does happen. It does happen, but you shouldn't let the possibility that happens stop you from living a happy life. And I don't want to get too much in this because it's like, yeah, it's heartbreaking when these things do happen, but it's also a thing where it's just like, be careful, be aware of your surroundings, and but do not let other people steal your happiness. I'm gonna stop talking because I feel like I'm just making it worse. But also, I just want to say this, like I do go out like that. I do wear a she her pronoun button, not all the time. It's on a hat. Ever since I moved, all my stuff is in boxes everywhere. I don't wear it as much as I used to, and people still don't. People still don't. There are more people who are supportive than there are, and you can see that just in polls. Like people are getting sick of hearing about Republican anti-trans made up stuff in commercials. Um, people are there are more people who are supportive than there aren't, and way more, way more. Yeah. And then, like I said, you see it happens like, in schools, and we've just had some this past year. It's like that's heartbreaking, and I hate it, and I'd hate to think that I told someone that and then something happened to them, but it's like, you know, be safe, take care of yourself, be aware of what's going on around you, and but you have to make that choice. That's at the end. What did I say? You have to make that choice. If you don't feel it's safe for you, then that's the decision you have to make. But I would say, and I would add a few things with your therapist too. And people might know this, maybe they do remember from previous episodes. I'm a coach. I'm a certified coach, and one thing with coaching is I'm not here to give advice. If people come to me, they tell me where they want to go or what their problem is or what's holding them back, and I help them find a solution for that. I don't tell them what I would do in that. As a matter of fact, I would never tell anyone to do what I would do in a situation because I do insane things and they work out for me. But same thing with a therapist. If your therapist tells you one thing, if your therapist doesn't believe in trans, the just stupidest thing anyone ever, you just get a new therapist. Your therapist shouldn't be telling you what to do. Your therapist should be helping you, work things out. And you can always find a new therapist. They're human, just like everyone else. They're not infallible. But I would say that's the thing. Like you have trans friends. Who are your trans friends seeing it for their therapist? Who did they see? Who do they know who's a gender affirming therapist? Or just someone they saw who was a good therapist, whether they specifically brand themselves as gender affirming. Because that's if you want to get with someone who just brands themselves as a gender affirming therapist, that might be a wait list for stuff like that, because that's very unique. But you can find a therapist who's good and will help you with talking things out, and talk to your trans friends. Like I said, see who they spoke with. Yeah, see what they did. Yeah. Well, that's why I said talk to your trans friends who they went. They'll know someone. Yeah. Oh yeah, they would show up, and they weren't out to their family or anything. They'd show up and they had a bag, and they'd go to the restroom and they'd change, and they'd, you know, do the session with everyone, and we'd have a group session. They'd have a dress and a wig, and they'd do their makeup, and then 5 minutes, like when they had to leave, they'd excuse themselves to the restroom and change back and clean off all their makeup and go. And everyone was very supportive. Like I think if you find a trans community and your own trans friends, like we all understand the struggle, and we're here to help. I'd also say if you're in Detroit, I have from my surgeon, I have like a list of 10 doctors now who are trans affirming and trans positive. So feel free to hit me up. Yeah, there's a question in the chat, and I know ordinarily we just take the one question, but I think we've done a good job of answering this. I Oh, you're gonna do a wrap up. Yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Full time, all the time. Exhaustingly trans, to be true. And it's also weird, like you mentioned how you felt like you were alone, and now it's like the between like you and I met each other. We're both from Milwaukee. We went to a wedding in California and met, and there was a trans person who came up to us who was also from Milwaukee. And then I got a friend request on Facebook from someone who's friends with you and requested for like did a sent a friend request to me, and I had no idea where I looked up. They're from Milwaukee. What is going on? What is going on? I'd have to look it up, but it's just like, yeah, people are out there and find those support groups. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's like finding out who you are, finding out about yourself, living yourself comfortably. If it's you not transitioning and, expressing yourself more one way or another gender wise, then that's great. If it is taking hormones, then that's great. If it's being a trans male and taking testosterone but still wearing dresses and dressing how you want, that's cool. Fucking here's the thing. Yeah, this is what they because like when I started doing like when I started transitioning doing my makeup, I do whatever the fuck I want because we're just throwing out the rules. Like, however you want to do it. And the rules are out. The rules shouldn't apply to anyone. And that's the cool thing is like, you'll find that you have influence on people who aren't trans and just let them know that they can be, you know, their own selves and exist how wild and crazy. It's like, what? I can just be who I want to be. And it's like, yeah, just be who you want to be. It's not, well, it is kind of difficult because the world doesn't want that. The world wants us all to wear like blue suits and red ties and petticoats or whatever women wear in these right-wing fantasies. Uh, you know, but yeah, right. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I would one that's the other thing, like last thing I want to wrap up is like I read a lot of these things and it's just like for this person specifically, stop thinking about it in I am this or I am this. It's just like find out who you are. And you know, you're right. You might not be trans, but maybe you do want to express yourself more. You want to inject more femininity into your presence, your presentation. You might want to, that's all cool. That's all good. It's like find yourself. And it might be HRT, it might not be HRT. Um, but you're allowed to find out who you are and discover yourself. Laura Laura Croft that shit. Climb the mountains of gender. Explore the caves of femininity. You like that one? You like that one? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we do have a question though, from uh, our boss, Emily. Yeah. She goes, I'd love to hear y'all answer the tough one sometimes, which is why are you trans? I mean, yeah, I think it's a great little tag on because I think first of all is like don't ask me. I just am what I am, you know? Yeah, yeah. There's two answers. There's two answers. Depends on the person asking me. If the person has good intentions, I'll be like, you know what? I just am what I am and I'm discovering myself and I'm being myself. If they have bad intentions, it's like, shut up, dickwad. Like no one can you don't care. Why? Probably what it is. When we were all conceived, we were all like genderless cells like this, and then things happened, and at some point in there, everything didn't line up, and now I'm here, and I'm this. Amazing. I just am. Am. And be like, go up to them like, why are you white? Master Shake, Master Shake with the answers as always. Yeah. What do you mean why? Why? Why are you not? Uh, yeah, why are you not trans? Yeah. Are you trans or are you the kind of idiot who uses the word biological when talking about gender? Yeah. Biological men. It's like, you'll never see the chemical men coming. You're so distracted. You're so distracted by the biological gender that you never even saw the synthetic genders coming. Fucking idiot. The virtual genders. Nah, it was a good question. It was a good answer. I mean, I hoped everyone was helped or will be helped in the future when this is put online in an edited form that doesn't include me getting the date wrong for when Halloween falls. Oh, oh no. Oh, hey, let's go. Let- Yeah, click, 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 click. Oh man, this girl is stupid. I honestly, it's um other places to go for good comedy, where you don't have to worry about transphobia or assholes. With the condition that so far, I mean, you never know where. Yeah, yeah. Well, we mentioned a few. Like I love Detroiters. I think you should. Yeah, if you're in Detroit, come to Planet Ant. I've got a show that I'm putting up in January. You should come see it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be. Oh, wait, you're first getting to this now? Now we know how did it go? How did it go? Yeah. I've been doing this for 20 years and I still don't know what I'm doing. Uh, the whole point is I don't maybe. Okay. I do know what I'm doing. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's the part of you I hate. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I understand. It's okay. But what the first thing I always say, because people like the ego just doesn't come on stage with me. You know, my secret for scenes, especially if I don't know anyone, is like just like pick an emotion before you get on stage, and then however whatever happens, just react out of that emotion, and whatever keeps happening, just like up how much you're feeling that. So if you're happy, everything happening just makes you happier and happier. And it doesn't matter what it is. And pick it before you know what the scene's about. Don't like try to change it. Just be like, just be angry if they come in and be like, "Happy birthday!" And you're just like, "Oh, fucking A, not this shit again." Yeah. Oh no. Bookworm, sorry you only have audio on one of you. It might not, I hope it's audio of me because I'm talking. If it's not me, you're probably wondering why. Oh no. It's been a great show, everyone.
Yeah, cool.
I think what you should do is really you could still edit this show with just my answers and just have you on the other side state.
I can edit the show. It's just like the whole show. Oh God. I fixed it. It's there now. It's just like, oh geez Louise. Oh my God. Well, there we have it. There it is. And Emily didn't know because she was in the Zoom because it's there in the Zoom. So like, well,
Oh,
thanks. Thank you for telling us and thank you. Sorry, my vote. My yeah, that what no wonder no one was in the show today.
they're like, this is one idiot talking to herself.
Oh my
Well, now that you got
goodness.
everyone's attention, you should tell everyone what's coming up.
Oh, yeah, we should do that.
Before
So
we
let me
go,
get
you
yeah,
should tell them what.
now that my microphone's working. I mean we're going to take this off. This isn't going anywhere, but I guess whoever is there, hang on, I got to get it. Yeah. I feel like now I'm cranky and now I'm like I feel like a total dickwad and an asshole. Okay.
You're hold on. You're neither of those things.
But I feel
But
like
you're
that
not.
those
You're
things, but I
not.
feel like them.
I know, but I love you and I don't want you to feel that way.
I love you too,
Okay.
and I do feel that way. I'm really upset with
Okay.
myself.
It's okay. You'll be able to make up for it in an hour. What happens in an
Wow,
hour?
we're well in an hour. At 2 o'clock, I'll be doing mediocre poker. Where I'm gonna try. I'm gonna play Texas Hold'em today, and so it's a play and explain. I'm playing micro stakes online, and I'm gonna be playing poker and walking through my decision process and why I'm doing what I'm doing and explaining things, and going back and forth to anyone in the chat that wants to talk about poker strategy or learn about poker.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Are you winning money while you're
I
doing
mean,
like? Are you winning?
Yeah, when
Have
I
you been
win, well,
winning?
sometimes I'm losing
Well,
and
no,
sometimes I
like
win.
you've been playing for a couple
Overall,
weeks now. Yeah.
I'm pretty break even. Like
Okay.
I haven't gone over the hump. I don't lose money. I'm a break even player.
Okay.
And I'm trying desperately to get over the hump of being a break even player and get to be a profitable player.
Sure,
And
sure.
I've been teetering on the edge of it for like a long time now. And I still study. I still do things outside of playing that and I know a lot. I know things, but I still can't seem to get over this hump of like turning a profit. I think I'm just too impatient and I play a little too loose.
Hmm.
And I'm learning. I'm trying to plug my leaks as best I can. Impatience is my greatest leak.
Yeah.
Impatience and losing my concentration are my greatest leaks.
Wait,
I've
have you tried my strategy
of not playing poker,
of just going
not
all
caring
in all
about
the time,
poker.
just going all in all the time?
Yeah, that works for a minute.
Yeah.
And then eventually you lose everything. So that's a surefire way to lose your stack. It's a real
That's
bad way
why
to play poker.
that's why you stop after a minute.
You could do that. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen it as a strategy and people do it and people catch on to it real quick.
sure.
So like you can kind of do it a couple times and then you have to duck out but then you're that person. Yeah, it's like, and I guess it
I,
doesn't matter. Like,
I'm
but
that person.
it is a thing where
The
you can just
person who
go all
just
in every
took your
time.
money. Yeah, I'm that person.
Like, yeah, but eh, no, I'm not going to do
Sorry.
that. That's
Sorry. I didn't.
as a an aspiring professional poker player. I am not going to employ that very terrible strategy.
Okay. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect poker.
No, you didn't. I'm just saying I'm not going to do that. But that's coming up in an hour. That's coming up
Yeah.
at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
And you should know that the Transverse has a Patreon that you could join. It is at patreon.com/the Transverse. And we've got little things in there. There's shorts that Lilith and I do, all our goofballs and funny bones that we do off camera and on camera that don't go into the show on Tuesday go in there sometimes, and little diddly doos and diddly bops. I am currently in the process of editing a best of for the end of the year this year, so keep your eyes up for that. I'm going to put out a best of Lilith and Amanda episode
Oh.
on YouTube. That's gonna for I think I'm gonna try and get it out for the on New Year's Eve. I'm gonna put it out. I don't know. We have to talk about when we should actually release it, but I'm in the process of editing that, and that's fun, but it's time consuming. So I have to go through a lot of
I have to
stuff
go
and
through all of it.
sift through a lot of stuff and edit it in.
You know
But
what you know for next year now?
huh?
Next year you could just have a folder. Every time you think something might be the best of, you clip it and you put it in your best of folder.
The process of clipping it is editing, and it's not that simple. Like you can't just
But you,
like, oh, I'm going to clip that. Like you have to bring it into the thing and start a file and edit it and then do it and then export it. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well just do it the way I'm doing it.
okay.
I think there's a way to do it like on Twitch, like where you can clip things, and like we had Jabe doing that once. And anyway,
Yeah, what happened to our
anyway,
producer?
that's a thing. That's
What happened to Jabe?
I don't know. He's around. He's willing to do it. He's not super available all the time because he's got a lot of life
No,
obligations, and so like
fair enough.
it's a thing. But we could have him back. Like
Just
I could mention it to him.
on my
Yeah,
end, he like showed up one day and then I would never seen him again.
yeah.
And
He's great
he
though.
was never talked about. He was like a character on a sitcom who just disappeared.
Yeah, he was kind of like that. We could get him back. I could easily get him back if
I was
we
like,
wanted.
was that
But
real?
I want to mention more stuff because we are getting towards the end here.
Yeah, go for it.
So that's that. I want you to buy our merch. We've got a great merch. We've got coffee mugs and t-shirts and stickers and transpositive things at the transverse at etsy.com. That is a place that you can go. You can find that also at thetransverse.net, which is the Transverse webpage, has our show schedules and all the community events, and also has links to that merch store and the Patreon and all those good things. If you have any questions you want to ask us that you want us to answer on the show, the best ways to do it is to come to our live stream and ask us in the chat. The next best way is to leave a comment on one of our videos. And the third best way after that is to send an email to media@thetransverse.net and ask it in that manner. I'll be doing Mediocre Poker next. And then tomorrow at 11, I'll be doing the Church of Vault-Tec, where I am live streaming Fallout 76, a playthrough that I only do on the live stream. We just kind of started out, so I think the character's at like level 7. I prettied her up good. We made kind of a monster. She was hideous, and I couldn't bear to look at her, so I had to go and get her prettied.
I hope you still used audience input. You said everything was going to be up to
Well,
the.
I haven't had a lot of audience input, so I
Fair
wasn't.
enough.
I
Fair enough.
did it off camera. I just did it on my own free time. I was like, I couldn't deal with it.
Okay.
But also this week on the Transverse, we do have a special episode of the Transgender Show live from Seattle, featuring Katie McCardle. She's going to be interviewed by Emily Kalin. Adventure is her middle name, and she is Emily's best friend. So this will be, in fact, a great episode. You can check that out on Tuesday, October 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, 9 to 11 p.m.
It's just adding 3 hours.
Eastern.
Yes, Eastern
Yeah,
time.
but I'm on Pacific time, so I just do it there. I just start there.
Fair enough. I assume Church of
6
Vault-Tec.
p.m.
I
Pacific.
assume Church of Vault-Tec is 11 a.m. Pacific.
11 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah.
2 Eastern.
2 o'clock Eastern.
2 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's that. All of those things. That's about. Oh, also, stay tuned for in November. The Creative Block is coming, and that's going to be a show that Emily hosts. The specific schedule and time is yet to be determined, but it's going to be Lego builders, drawing streams, anything trans and crafty is going to be in Creative Block. And so if you have any ideas about something crafty you want to do or you would like to see on it, you can contact same email, media@thetransverse.net, and that's going to be airing next month. So
Exciting.
yeah, Halloween's coming up. This is our last episode. Happy Halloween, everybody.
This is our last episode?
Before Halloween.
Okay. Is
Halloween
does Halloween have some sort of significance to our show?
No, we're still going to be here next weekend.
Okay, we'll still be here.
Yeah, we'll be here next Saturday doing this, and hopefully I'll have my audio working, so the show won't be a complete and total waste.
And I'll be eating Reese's Cups the whole time.
I feel like such a heel. Like, oh, it's terrible. Oh, well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Lilith, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, let me just, I appreciate it. We love you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.